How's it going, Magpies? Magpie Leon here. In today's video we'll be talking about the controversy surrounding the Halo Infinite Assault Rifle and why I don't think it's bad by any means and why I think it should go unchanged in the final product. So for those of you that aren't aware, there's been a little bit of controversy surrounding the Assault Rifle in Halo Infinite as of this point. By that I mean some people are saying that the weapon is too powerful and needs to be nerfed. This sort of come up when someone posted a video comparing the assault rifle and battle rifle in one of the weapon drills and showing how the assault rifle seemed to kill closer. It seemed to kill quicker at close and mid-range compared to the battle rifle. And obviously everyone's saying, well, the battle rifle should be better at mid-range. Now, I think, firstly, I think this is an unfair comparison comparing both of the weapons in a weapon drill, where one, you're shooting stationary targets or targets that are moving slightly and they'd be at different distances. I can guarantee from watching the video that those targets are not at the same distance. And also regarding this point, yeah, the assault rifle is obviously better at short range, that's kind of the point. And the battle rifle, people have then also posted their own videos comparing both weapons, and the battle rifle usually tends to excel better at mid-range. Also, the battle rifle overall has a lot more range than the AR, giving it that edge over it in certain situations. Now, the reason I think the AR should be unchanged is due to the fact that Halo Infinite is not just targeting a competitive audience. Let's say, for example, an older player who has been playing the series for a while, but the aim might not be what it used to be. Something like the assault rifle is going to be a lot more useful for someone like them, as it's a lot easier to land a shot. They don't have to be as accurate to get a kill. So in a sense, the assault rifle can be a casual player's best friend. It's not too overpowered, it's not going to beat weapons like the battle rifle and commando in every situation, but it still can compete with them. The assault rifle is finally a viable weapon, which it sort of hasn't been since Combat Evolved. In Halo 3 it's pretty awful, and although it's decent in 4 and 5, there's always a better option, so there's not really a reason to use the assault rifle. In Halo 5, if you're close range, you might as well pick up the SMG, and if they're at further, like mid-range, then you might as well use the battle rifle, DMR, or hell, even the Magnum. Now, I do agree that maybe the assault rifle shouldn't have a headshot multiplier, or that its headshot multiplier should at least be nerfed a little bit. I think, again, a headshot multiplier is definitely more suited to precision weapons, but I'm not completely opposed to the idea of the assault rifle having a headshot multiplier. It is something that doesn't really bother me all that much, but I do understand people's complaints with it, and in that regard, I could see the headshot multiplier itself maybe warranting a nerf or something like that. Another thing that this rifle does have is the Smart Link, which is basically what allows you to zoom in. Now, with other weapons with proper scopes, they have descope, so when you're fired at while scoping in, it will descope you, whereas things with Smart Link don't. So maybe if Smart Link weapons do descope when you're fired at, or precision weapons don't descope when you're fired at, I think that could, I guess, overall make it a bit more balanced. Now, I personally don't like descope, but I do understand people's complaints with it. So if that is the case where Smart Link weapons do descope you when fired at, then that's something I'm okay with. But I do think overall that Smart Link helps the assault rifle be overall a bit more of a viable weapon. Obviously, the flight that we played didn't have all of the weapons that will be available in Infinite, so we don't know how the assault rifle is going to compare to majority of the weapons in the sandbox. But I think we did use majority of the loadout type weapons, so it is clear to see where it compares to them. And it's not overpowered, it's not this game-breaking weapon like people are making out it is. It's literally just now become a viable weapon. The meta doesn't always have to be battle rifle or precision weapon. I think now that the assault rifle has got a decent role in the sandbox, it should stay that way. Again, I think the assault rifle is going to be a casual player's best friend. Something like the battle rifle, commando, pulse carbide, they'll be more suited to competitive players, these precision weapons that require a bit more skill to use effectively. The assault rifle is going to be a bit more useful for someone who plays a bit more casually. They can just spray and pray with it and still do decent and not feel outmatched by someone with a battle rifle. Again, in Halo 3, the assault rifle is pretty much useless. You are almost never going to win someone that is using a battle rifle if you're using the AR. And again, in like Halo 4 and 5, although the assault rifle is definitely a decent weapon, there's always a better option, so there's not too much point in ever picking it up. It's just there because it's an iconic weapon. Whereas in Infinite, this isn't the case. now in Infinite, the assault rifle is genuinely really enjoyable to use, and most of the time I actually don't swap it out because I do think it's just as good, if not better in some cases, than other weapons. On something like live fire, the assault rifle is going to be a bit more effective since overall it's a relatively small map. You're going to be in close quarters situations a lot more with your opponents, making the AR a bit more viable. But something like recharge, something like the battle rifle and commando prove to be better options because you've always got a bit more distance between you and your opponents. I think more so, if anything, it depends on the situation that you're using the weapon, not just the range, but the overall situation. Another thing that I don't think people are really taking into account is the amount of ammo used to kill an opponent. I think with the assault rifle, you are going to use majority of your ammo clip taking out one opponent, whereas with the battle rifle, as long as you're landing headshots, you'll be able to get at least 2, maybe even 3 kills with a single clip quite easily. Whereas with the assault rifle, again, unless your aim is really good, that might not necessarily be the case. So it also depends on the player and where the opponent is being hit and on the situation. So there's a lot of variables you've got to take into account to determine whether or not the assault rifle is definitely better. Overall, I just think it's a pretty balanced loadout weapon that can fit in and not feel left out of the crowd. It is now a loadout weapon that people won't want to switch out right at the beginning of the match. On assault rifle starts on most other Halo games, almost everyone tries the best to never use the assault rifle or instantly switch out because it's never that useful. Again, on Halo 5 it may be decent, but there's always a better option. You might as well just use the Magnum. Halo 4, you pick your own loadouts. Almost no one ever picks the assault rifle because there's better options. In Halo 3, it sucks. So, yeah, that's just my opinion on the matter. I don't think the assault rifle needs changing because, quite frankly, I think it's already pretty balanced. Now, I guess, yeah, sure, they could maybe make some changes to things like Smart Link and maybe lower the headshot multiplier or get rid of the headshot multiplier entirely. That's not something I'm completely opposed to if that's a route they take. But right now, as it stands, I'm quite happy with the assault rifle. I find it really enjoyable to use. In my opinion, I do hope they don't change it, but I do understand some people's concerns. So if that is the case and more people are upset, then the majority of the players are upset, then I do understand them changing it. But I personally hope that isn't the case. Anyway, folks, that's all from me today. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you are new here, maybe subscribe, leave a like, stick around. I am trying to upload a bit more regularly at the minute surrounding all the Halo hype, and hopefully I can keep this up. I will start streaming again more frequently soon, but I have been very busy with other things. Anyway, yeah, that's all from me today, and I'll catch you in the next one.